be doing a study tip video, and today's Saturday, so it's a vlog day. So I'll link my last beauty video right here. So if you'd like, you can just watch that. So normally when I get homework assigned to me, I have a planner, so I write it down, and then I also write when it's due. I put a circle next to it so I can check it off. And I write it down once in the day that I was assigned. I write it down again on the day that it's due. Whenever I do my homework, I write down all of my homework that I have to do that day that's mandatory. Like if something's due the next day, I have to do it. And then I also write homework that's not due that day. I don't do this all the time, but I keep all of my papers in my binder for at least a month, or when the chapter's over. But then when the chapter's over or when the month is over, I take them out. I still keep them at home in another binder. I keep the dates on everything, so if I get it passed back to me or if it's notes, I can have it in order from date that I got it. I have a homework folder. I put homework that I got assigned, that I still need to do, and then on the other side I have homework that I did. So in the morning I just open that instead of having to go through my whole binder. I just open that and pick out homework that I finished and turn it in. I study for at least 15 minutes, and I'd like to say in every subject, but really it's overall. And I'd rather get the homework done than study, than sit there and study, but on weekends I have more time to sit down and study and look over stuff. I always do this, every single class. I check out my notes. I don't remember not doing this since this year started. I take out my notes that I've taken the previous day or the previous class. I scan through them so when a teacher starts talking, I'm not just completely lost. And I also write down when I missed class, and write down when I'm going to tutorial, and write down when I need to make up or retake a quiz. In my psych class, quizzes are pretty important, and reading is really important. So if your teacher tells you to read something, read it. And also look over your notes before your quiz. I did this last year. I don't have to do this year, but I used to sort things by classwork, homework, or project, and by class too. So if I go to psych, first subject divider would have AP Psych homework. A second subject divider would have classwork. Third would have projects and project directions, and everything would be in order from date. I also use note cards for studying. I figured that if I wrote down things, then I would remember it better. I cut it in fours. That's just because I have small writing, but you really don't have to use the whole thing. Cut it at least in half. That way you save money and more cards for later. And I also, this kind of goes along with it, but I also record myself saying stuff because I can remember it. And I have recorded myself saying the stuff beforehand, the day before, and then I fall asleep to it, and I start studying 3 days before a test, and I study like I'm going to fail. I study pretty hard. That's just because I have hard classes. I write down what I get wrong on a quiz, and I compare them with other people to make sure that if I got question 1 wrong and the answer was B, and that's what I chose, but my neighbor got question 1 right and the answer was B, then one of us would have been wrong, and either I get a point or she loses a point. The bad thing about approaching your teacher when that happens is because you can gain a point, but your neighbor or partner could also lose a point. So what I do is I check with more than one person before go up and ask, because I don't want to be oh, well, this person said that they got it right and I didn't. And then she'd be oh yeah, you're right, Megan. You got it right and I need to deduct a point from you. Because that's not fair, because they should not have to get points deducted because you want a better grade. And make sure that your teacher graded it right, because I've had a teacher, this actually happened to me not today, but yesterday. I took a test and I got a very, very bad grade on it, and I did not know why. I mean, I passed, but it was like really, really bad still. So I went to my teacher. I realized that I didn't get a portion of the test that everyone else got. So like half of the test I didn't even get. So I didn't get to answer all of the questions. So I was like, my test didn't have the back side, and so I didn't get to answer any of them. So I got to go after school and I got to retake it, and it brought my grade up. Everyone makes mistakes, so don't make them feel bad about it, because if you make them feel bad about it, then they're gonna be like upset with you, and they're not gonna want to try to help you. And it's also, if you have a question after tutorial, at least in my school, a lot of my math classes, I'm terrible at math, so I have to go to tutorial to ask for questions anyways, and my mom works and I have nowhere to go anyways. I mean, I could go to the library, but tutorial is better because your teacher's there and it's more interacting. And I learn things better without the book and more with interaction. So I go to tutorial and my teacher gives us extra credit going to tutorial, and I learn what I did wrong, and I also know if I have all of the answers right for the next day when it's due. I try to estimate my time before I do homework. Like, okay, this like 5-page worksheet's gonna take me an hour. Another thing is to remember that school comes before fun, it comes before friends, it comes before clubs. And your good grades are more likely to get you into college you're applying to. I'm not applying to a college. I've just been told by counselors and teachers that that is what they look for more. You do need to be involved in some extracurricular activities, but you also need to be on top of schoolwork before anything else. Another thing is to do all of your homework the day that it was assigned. And I know this is hard for a lot of people because you have so many classes and they're so hard, like mine, or if it is like mine. You should do all of the homework that's due, because if you have a question, you can go after school and tutorial and ask for help, or you can look at the book and see if it can help you. And ask anyone you know for help, guys. It can be your 5-year-old sister who knows how to add better than you do. I don't even know if 5-year-olds can add, but if they can, you ask her that question. Another thing is to study or work in study groups. It's just more fun. You can get distracted, but it's also good because you're interacting and you're talking about it. So when you talk about something and try to teach each other, then you're going to learn a lot better. So another thing that I have to say is take breaks. And guys, I'm the type of person who needs a break like every 5 minutes, but that can't happen with 6 AP classes. You're in school for like 7 hours. You take breaks, especially when you're studying, because studies have shown and proven that it's better to study in pieces than it is to study for 3 hours. Especially when you get home from school, you've been studying and working your booty off the whole entire day. Take a 20-minute break. Also have rewards for yourself. If I finish this homework, then I can watch TV for 30 minutes or something, but always go back to it. If you're the type of person who, if you leave your homework, you're not gonna go back, don't take a break. Another thing I do is this is a stamp. If I did all of my homework and turned every single thing in, or I get a stamp for the day, and if I have all 5 stamps, then I reward myself with candy, or I'll buy myself a lip gloss next time I go out, or I'll ask my mom for a sleepover. Another thing is know the difference between school day and a weekend. On weekends, you can pretty much get away with a lot of stuff not containing school work at all. The weekends are there for a reason, guys. If we did school 24 hours, I want you guys to understand that weekends are important, and they're not where you can misbehave or completely ignore your schoolwork. But if you do more schoolwork on the school days when you have school, then it'll all be done, and then the weekends can be the weekends, and you need that break, guys. If you have been working your booty off for 5 days and 7 hours a day, that's 35 hours. You need a break. I'm not saying if you have a big project due that you just ignore it. I'm saying just remember to take breaks. Try to have fun in school. Another thing I recommend, the last thing I recommend, is take fun classes. And guys, you guys think, oh, well, you're taking psych, that's a really hard class. You guys don't know how much fun that is. But yes, you have to read a lot. Yes, you have to study. Yes, you have to learn about biology. You also get to experiment on each other. Just take classes that you love, but also classes that you don't like, still try. So make friends in all your classes, that'll make it go by so much faster. Be friendly and nice to your teachers, it'll make your life and your teacher's life a lot easier. Do all of your homework. That's it. So thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I should have a subscription box somewhere around me. I don't know where yet, but if it pops up, then you click it. Please remember that I have to have 25 subscribers in order to have a Halloween contest. And you can win fun gift cards and a surprise gift. And it's a surprise gift, so I'm not going to tell you what it is. I like giving better than I like getting. In order to watch my last video, please click the annotation to the left. It should be like right by my finger.